Using our own 2 feet as a main source of transportation, people began spreading across the globe 6,000 years ago, meaning we only needed to see 4 to 6 feet in front of us to avoid a hazard. Usually, this would be a dangerous animal or another human coming at us from another direction. Either way, we could adapt and change in an instant without ever having an issue. Vehicles have been around since Carl Benz's Benz patent motor wagon was created in 1886. Today, we need to see further away as hazards come from further and they're coming faster. No more 1 or 2 mile an hour reactions. Today, we have to react to hazards coming at us at high speeds. Speed limits in some of the areas that we live in are 70 miles an hour or more, and we need to be prepared with a plan to avoid a crash and stay safe while driving. When we're walking, a person usually looks about 5 to 10 feet ahead. When we're driving, we need to be looking a quarter mile or more ahead. The average driver with no training will see about 5 seconds ahead and not have much, if any, time to react to a sudden hazard. In modern times, we need to be ready for everything and anything. We move much faster, and we need to put our attention further down our path. We should keep our gaze high and look about 15 seconds ahead while driving. This is usually about 1 to 2 blocks on city roads and a quarter to a half a mile on the highway. We need to look as far as we can and should be looking for brake lights coming on, signaling us that traffic is slowing down, and maybe quickly. Now you know looking ahead is important, and you're going to start looking further, but we really need to be looking everywhere. We need to know what's around us, not just what's in front of us, but what's on both sides and behind us. We can do this by scanning the mirrors left and right, looking ahead as often as we can, and usually at least once every 10 seconds. Look for what's important and ignore the junk. Billboards and flashy signs all compete for our attention. Ignore them. Concentrate instead on things that matter, like weather conditions, glare, and where you are in the traffic pattern. Following distance. This is a big factor. Following behind a truck too close can make it impossible to see down the road. Backing away can allow better vision, and where it's possible, change lanes and get out from behind any other vehicle that can block your vision down the road. We've all heard of the 2-second rule, and if you haven't, well, forget I said anything. We'll be using the 4-second rule. This means you'll keep back from any vehicle in front of you by at least 4 seconds. The best way to figure this out is when the vehicle in front of you passes a light pole or some mark in the road. Simply count 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, and 4 1,000, then adjust your distance so you're passing the same object or mark when you get to the 4th second. Doing it this way, the distance increases as your speed increases, and the distance decreases as your speed decreases. Having a 4-second following distance will encourage some people to jump into the space that you've just created. On a typical commute, this may happen 1 or 2 times and cost you anywhere from no time at all to possibly 3 or 4 minutes. If it results in avoiding an accident, then you can be sure that you're hours ahead of schedule had you had an incident. The alternative, putting yourself in that space to block others from getting in there, puts you dangerously close to the vehicles in front of you and raises your risk of an accident. If they need to stop or slow suddenly, you're not going to be able to. So we have a space cushion in front of us now. Great. We still have 3 other areas to consider: the right and left sides, as well as what's coming up from behind us. Are we being followed too closely? Let's check our mirrors and see. By swinging our head around from mirror to mirror, we're updating our peripheral vision as well as seeing what's behind us, while we keep an eye on what is going on as far in front of us as we can see, or 15 seconds ahead. When we know what's going on all around us, we have a full understanding of where we are and where everyone else is. Peripheral vision is the side vision that we all know is there. But did you know that you only see with peripheral vision if there's a movement, usually a sideways movement, and or a change in light intensity like a flash or sudden darkness? If something is moving towards you and is not changing in brightness, you may never even notice it. This is no joke when the ball is another vehicle coming at you. The act of moving our head from mirror to mirror refreshes our side or peripheral vision. Pinpoint vision is what we're actually looking at, and it's only around 3% of our vision. The rest, it's peripheral vision, and it needs to be updated often, or it can let us down. You can only see the area of your peripheral vision if your eyes move to see it. Peripheral vision is our warning vision, and the same as an alarm we hear. We need to look to see what the alarm is warning us about. Don't hold a single gaze. When we back up, we can be tempted to stare into a single mirror and not really look around. and you won't even know it. Have you ever heard or said, "It came out of nowhere"? This could be the effect of peripheral blindness in action. What's just as bad as being blind? Not even looking is just as bad as not noticing. Being distracted is a large cause of accidents. Cell phone use, eating, grooming while driving, all these take our attention away from the main job of driving. If you get a call, wait to answer when you have a chance to pull aside and focus on that call. Alright, so we know what's around us, and our cell phone and lunch are secure and won't slide around or fall. What now? All this information you're receiving from being aware and looking your best, pun intended, is only useful if you have left yourself a way out of trouble once you see it coming. If we see something and have no room to react, then bam, we're going to have an incident. We need to plan a way out of trouble if we see we're heading into it before it happens. Don't let other drivers hang out in our blind spots. Keep the sides of our vehicles as clear as possible and avoid driving in clusters. There is something you can do about that guy following too close behind you. Slow down and add more room in front of you. If there's trouble, you'll have time to make a controlled, evasive maneuver, as well as give time for the other driver behind us to become aware of the trouble, and maybe they too can avoid an accident. If traffic is just so bad we can't keep clear on all sides, then keep your front area clear because you have control over this space, and keep trying to have at least one side open to maneuver away from an accident. Communication with other drivers is also a large part of driving safely. All vehicles we drive have safety communications devices. The horn, left and right turn signals, brake lights, reverse lights, and your headlights. Use these devices to let other drivers know and understand what you're intending to do. Don't avoid flashers because you think someone will cut you off or not let you over. This does happen, and while it's rude, we should not skip using turn signals and skip safety. When you signal a right turn, be sure you're doing it after any driveways. This way, anyone in a driveway doesn't assume you're turning into the driveway and then pull out in front of you. And those times when we come to a four-way intersection and we end up in a standoff with who should go first, don't wave anyone to go on. The best solution is just look away from the other people like you're getting something out of your seat next to you, and they will go ahead and move through the intersection. If a pedestrian wants to cross the street, make eye contact with them or assume they will walk in front of you. One way to get eye contact is to try tapping the horn, flashing your lights, or whatever you have to do to get them to see you. If they don't look at you, then you should stop and let them cross. Remember to practice the following distance of 4 seconds, and let's drive safe.